Good morning, everyone. My name is One Peg. If you are somebody that has been paying attention to Twitter headlines or gaming journalism headlines, you know a couple of things when it comes to Call of Duty. The first thing is that Call of Duty goes live today at midnight if you are in the States on Steam, or on PlayStation, I think is tomorrow. Unless you're in New Zealand and happen to play on Xbox or the Microsoft Store or whatever, and then you have access to it this morning because New Zealand lives in the future. And I guess people can play Call of Duty now. The other thing that you might know is that Call of Duty is apparently charging people for enhanced audio that some people are claiming is pay to win. This would be probably the first time that anybody's done pay to win audio. But my question is whether or not it's actually pay to win. And I want to explain to you how it works, why they're doing what they're doing, and whether or not it's actually worth it. Of course, the worth it part is going to be up to you guys, but you know, I digress. There's the I digress for the video. Let's go. Okay, so if you've been paying attention to headlines, these things have been popping up. A lot of angry tweets about the HRTF function, the enhanced audio function for Call of Duty being, there's a free trial for a tailored experience for people's hearing. Now, this is all being done through a company called Embody. And Embody is not new to this scene. They've been doing this for a long time. Embody's tech is related to what is called HRTF, or head-related transfer function. That is the simulation of 3D spatial awareness that we all inherently have calibrated to our brains via the shape of our ear, as well as some vibrations that go on inside of our skull bones, you know, things like that. Conduction of sound through our skull, and as well as our ear shape, gives us basically 3D spatial audio awareness. And for an easy illustration of this, to kind of dumb it down for everybody, Destin from Smarter Every Day did a very simple experiment where he packed a bunch of Play-Doh into the earlobe of one of the kids and walked around kind of clapping his hands to see whether or not they could tell front, back, and left and right, showing that once you're kind of messing with all of that stuff, it doesn't work as well as you would hope. But back to Embody. So how do they do what they do? There's different levels of depth with this. There are companies that do very in-depth, like audible ear canal, like ear scans and stuff, but Embody does it a little bit more simplistically. What they do essentially is you have an iPhone app, and then you take and you use your iPhone, and then you hold the camera up to your ear, and it does an ear scan of your earlobe, and then you answer some questions or click from a series of images about what your head shape looks like, and from there they design a specific profile with different levels of tune frequencies so that it's more tailored of an experience for like both Call of Duty's sound profile in this case, as well as how you specifically hear sounds, if that makes sense. Now, there is a more watered down version of this that is being utilized in Black Ops 6 and in Warzone that is like generalized HRTF, where the frequency profiles and whatnot are something that you would typically see in other video games that utilize HRTF, like Cyberpunk, for instance, although Cyberpunk also uses Embody's algorithms. Insofar as this being like pay to win on Activision's side of things, the way that this works is they're taking that tailored experience and then they're applying it to the audio profile of Call of Duty specifically. And for this, they are charging $20 through Embody's website for a 5-year license. So it's not a constant ongoing subscription model, but it is a charge. And the argument is whether or not it's actually giving people a benefit and whether or not it's actually worth the money. Now, the jury's kind of out on this one. There's a bunch of different people on Twitter and whatnot that are saying, yes, it is. I've noticed a difference. It's better for me. It gives me a competitive edge. And yet still, there are other folks that end up arguing that it's not worth the price tag. But as we all know, snake oil, even if it's actually snake oil, if sold well enough and if marketed well enough, is something that gamers will buy into if they think that they can gain anything. Because let's face it, just about every gamer out there that feels even remotely competitive thinks that they're going to be the next LeBron James of gaming. Unfortunately, when they're shown that they're not LeBron James, they end up crying hacker. But again, I'm rambling. Different video. However, for anyone interested to see whether or not it's something that they actually would like or enjoy, they are giving everybody a 30-day free trial to try the tailored version if you so choose. Now, don't get me wrong. Accuracy in audio is obviously something that we all want. Games like Tarkov, Call of Duty, things like that, to be able to hear footsteps as accurately as possible is something that we all definitely would swear would be number one, I would argue, on the list for people that want as much good quality game sense as they possibly could get. But is that frequency tweak good for gamers for just a single license fee of $20 over the course of 5 years for a single video game? Now that, of course, I can't answer for anybody other than myself. And I'm not that huge into Call of Duty. I've never been really big into Warzone, and while Black Ops is fun, I'm one of those people that would play the campaign and likely never end up picking up the game again. So for me, I don't think I would spend the $20 for enhanced audio for a single video game title. For other people that are no-lifing it in this video game and they want to prestige multiple times over, maybe it's worth it for you. It depends on how many hours you plan on putting into it. I'm personally one of those people that thinks that the dollar per hour of entertainment standard is typically what I go by for video games. So if a $60 game gives me 60 hours of entertainment and I find that I've been entertained for those 60 hours, then it's a justification of the price tag. Otherwise, I don't see the sense in having spent the money. The same can be said in the case of this audio enhancement. Now it raises that $60 price tag to $80. Or if you're somebody that gets the collector's edition, that's like, what, $100 or $120, and then you add up another $20 on top of that. Are you going to get 150 hours of entertainment out of this video game? That is completely up to you guys to decide. But I suppose you can try it for 30 days, do the iPhone app ear scan, and see if it actually ends up working for you. If it does, then maybe you end up buying into it. It's pretty easy to toggle back and forth and decide whether or not the enhanced audio features are going to be something that you will benefit from or not. Either way, this is a pretty ballsy move on their part. I'll give them that. And not for nothing, Embody will likely end up seeing millions of people signing up for this. So it was a good payday for them too, I suppose. That being said, it is somewhat of a grift, because you aren't really standardizing the audio functionality between everyone. Different people are going to end up having different frequency ranges. They'll be able to hear certain things better. I don't know, man. Like, it kind of goes into the same functionality as people that do, like, custom tunings. Like, Art is War ends up doing, like, custom tunes for the audio so that people can hear footsteps better based on, you know, EQ and filter settings. There's all of that. There's an entire sub-business that goes into tweaking audio settings for people. So, is this ended up being, like, some type of a grip for people, like, through Activision? It's pay to win. I mean, people were already kind of doing this on the outside. I guess it's just Activision bringing what people were already doing on the outside more in-house. I suppose it is kind of grifty, though. It was unnecessary. I don't know. I guess I'm kind of back and forth on it. I don't know if it's necessarily pay to win. I think it's pay for snake oil. I don't know if it's really going to give people all that much. It might give them a little bit of something. If it does actually give them a realistic competitive advantage, then I suppose at some level it is still pay to win. I just don't know if it's going to make anybody, like, that much better. 5 out of 1,000 games, maybe? Is it worth $20 over 5 years for 5 more games out of 1,000? Suppose that's for you guys to decide. Well, anyway, that's what I have for this video, everybody. Thank you so much for coming and checking it out. My name, again, is OnePeg. If you would be so kind as to sub the channel here, if you found this interesting, entertaining, informative, whatever, that would be absolutely amazing. Otherwise, you can come and check me out over at twitch.tv/OnePeg, where I stream every day around 7 to 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm actually late for my stream right now because I was recording this. But I will be live as soon as this video is live. I'll probably be live before this video is live because Saint has to edit it down. Otherwise, if neither one of those things works for you, I suppose I will see you in the next video. Thank you for lending me your eyeballs, everybody. We'll see you real soon. Peace.